Network today now, Friday, October 1st, 2021, on which we get two gentlemen them win a high caliber in the APC party and also na reformers them. Kuna Messina we posted we bring them in tonight for can talk to about what's not them plan for the party and the country. And with me tonight, I get Miss Cady Johnson Cole, where they join me all the way from UK as my co-host tonight. So before I go any further, I go ask Miss Cady Johnson will go introduce himself, and also we go ask we guest him and then introduce himself. Over to you, Auntie Cady.
Yeah, me from them. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever on the day in the world. Me na Cady Johnson Cole, the co-host tonight's broadcast. I hope say una go enjoy them and una go contribute for make this show become successful. And at the big say we guess them, let we treat we guess them with respect. Yes, do ya. Let me just go to the point. We see a question they say which you get for ask, you can ask. We don't want anybody for can begin to use any kind language may not go be acceptable na BOS to ya na bigger the big one. Well, you know that not can be anyway. I just mentioned no more, but we not can get problem with that at all. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Auntie. Also, I want to start with Mr. Alfred. It's a Conteh. So I'm going to introduce yourself to family tonight.
Well, good evening. My name is Alfred Peter Conteh, and me na the founder of the ARM, and me na the plaintiff, we sue Hannes by Kuruma and Usman Fode Yansane, basically the leadership of the APC, and question the legality on behalf of all reformers out there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Conteh. I will get to Prophet Sheki, who it is to family himself.
Well, a blessed good evening to one and all. I am Prophet Sheki, the proud grandson, grand Pekin of APC founding father, no less a person than the former president and former prime minister, His Excellency Sir Dr. Siaka Probin Stevens. I'm also a senior member in the APC and also an aspiring flag bearer, and by the grace of God, the next president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. And added to that, I'm also a member of the ARM.
All right. Thank you very much, Sheki. We know so they run almost 8:30, so we go try for captain the ship immediately. I want to start with Mr. Conteh because I know say plenty people that didn't see you. The first thing they get for see you and hear from you. Some other you voice na radio and also na different social media groups them where we then share your audio. But personally, I don't think say most of we know who that you be. So if I go give you within 3 to 5 minutes for let you go test a lot of people who that na be Conteh, or born, grow up, go school, and what see they do leadership wise, so that people don't go know who that you be small and we go acquainted to you. And I goes first after you don't I goes and the same question back to Sheki. But I will give you within 3 to 5 minutes figure we just sum up from them. That would be nice. Over to you, sir.
Well, me na Alfred Peter Conteh, like I say earlier on, me na the founder of the ARM. The first group was begin call for reform at the APC, and later on I joined with the NRM along with the Way Forward from England, Comrade Ayub and Comrade Abimans and others from England. So I've been a reformer, but prior to that, I was, even when I was a reformer, when I started, I was the executive member of the APC in the chapter of New Jersey. I was also member of the APC since I was, we can say like Pop Shek, we're born inside APC. So the APC party, don't join them. You know, me initial APC card, even FIBA report card. So I don't think at the party. But reality is, professionally, I'm an engineer, and I don't do the same job for 21 years, which shows say there's stability, and I know it's hard to do. By the special grace of God, I'm married. I get 5 children, and I born Kabbalah town, and I grew up in Freetown. I grew up in Moritown Barracks. Now there I do my first Tete, and then from there I moved to Congo Town, and later on I moved to Tembe Town, back of Methodist Girls High School. So the time I've been there, Sierra Leone, I work Sierra Tel, and from Sierra Tel, I travel to America. So, in a brief way, that's who I am, and I believe in fighting for people. I believe in fighting to ensure the right thing be done for all members of the APC, and subsequently for all Sierra Leonean. I believe, say, if we get good leadership where the people they choose their own leader, we don't see an America yet. One of the two, then they say America is democracy. People get a choice for people that are correct. We not just the pass back door and do it to one do. So when I see what happened at my own party 2017, right there and then is when I started the fight. So when I've been joined the NRM in 2018, we moved together as a group. I started as the international coordinator, and then I was voted to become the deputy chairman of the NRM. So all of which they show say yes, reform, no matter how you turn them, it will not be part of me backbone or me DNA. I believe say God bring me, this is a calling, the cow can say. Not to say I get in it for any other thing. I just believe say I saw dictatorship red-handed, raw in McKinney in 2017. And right there and then a vow say, waiting happen here, it not go ever happen again by the special grace of God. So by the special grace of God, we don't reach our reach that we get what we call a forced or a court-ordered emergency national delegates conference. So just that we're able to get to that point, I want to say thanks to everybody in the ARM, my colleague with Utwiso, the Prophet Pop Shek, the Garillos organ of the APC. I say thank you. We get Comrade Alfred Musa Conteh, who is also a reformer, a strong fighter for the cause. I want to say thanks to Ram. We get the Honorable Dauda Jawara Mansare. Instead of putting shoulder to the wheel, we push. And this push will push. By the special grace of God, we don't see, it don't yield a lot of positive fruit. The people of Sierra Leone in the APC, for the first time after 16 years, we will be hand this party over to an Eskoroma as chairman and leader. The people of Sierra Leone don't go to the polls, especially the members of the APC. They don't pick, they don't begin vote. Voting or democracy come back into the APC. Thanks to all those who stood behind us and the people who put their shoulder to the wheel for move this train of reformation forward. I want to say thanks to Ona.
Thank you very much, Mr. Conteh. And Papa Sheki, over to you, sir. Same question, because I know say but plenty people not the first time then go hear from Papa Sheki directly and we will get the information first. So what's in you will tell about who that you be, sir?
Well, thank you very much. As I said earlier, my actual name is Siaka. I'm the namesake of APC founding father, Sheki, and my surname is Tijan Jallo. My papa of blessed memories is Alhaji Ibrahim Tijan Jallo from Rokula, Sanda. We serve the country diligently of 40 years in various administrations, including ambassador to Egypt, Cairo, and Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. My mama, na the daughter of Sheki, we na Haja, the former Haja, Frances, Stevens. Himself served with country for over 40 years. Na Connaught Hospital, in work, X-ray department, as senior radiographer. Me born na PCMH hospital. I was raised na Brookfields, West 2, Partsley. I attended La Haitelo, kindergarten. I go Savage Choir. I also attended King Herman Preparatory School. From there, I went to Prince of Wales. And then I went to Albert Academy. Then to Collegiate. Then to Dewey Border. And finally to the Government Secondary School, Bo, who they call Bo School. From there, I transitioned to United States at a very young age. In my teens, I think me papa be don't get wind of the war with the camp. We not be know. We were just kids. He put me in a plane, he sent me to America. And over here, I attended Rutgers. I read law. I work in various fields. Then I do beaucoup things. Whatever it takes to earn money, I do. God called me to ministry. My earlier life was a bit of like a wild one. Where young man come now, it's my country, no get parental guidance. You be in an incubator before. Mama di, papa di, you get servants, the way they wash the clothes, driver and all this. So it was a bit of a wild ride. But by the mercy of God, I was arrested by God. And I had my Damascus moment with my eye open. And I became a man of God. Prior to that, I was Muslim. I go Makkah, I make Hajj. And I even get the title of Imam due to great studies that I do under Sheikh them, Bin Baz, Uthaymin, Salih Fawzan, and the like. But eventually God called me to Christianity. And I have been in the Lord's service since. I never ever get interest for politics. Nevertheless, I've been a long life member of APC, supporting from the back. After 2018, during Aneskuruma in time, before Aneskuruma, now we put into office. We be in New Jersey at the time, and along with my elder brother, Alhaji Ajibu Tijan Jalo, who was the advisor to Aneskuruma and also deputy government spokesperson, and others like Abskanu, Fodi Mansari, Alex Mansari, may their souls rest in peace, and others them. Now we get our money, raise funding, and do everything you could think about for put money behind Aneskuruma to make him president. Even if when we make for them a dance in New Jersey, he took my mother to dance with, you know. Well, as I say, when Anes became president, many of them ran to Sierra Leone. They go all post them. And me remain Nayaso because I believe, say, the Bible tell me in Psalm 32 that I will lead you and teach you in the way you should go. Be not like the horse or mule that needs bait or bridle. So God not tell me, say, go join politics. But the prophecy will don't come over 20 years ago. For say, one day you will tell the pharaohs of the world to let my people go. But I love you know saying inside politics. I'm facing that from the pulpit. So after 2018, well, during our nesting time, many honorable in the Kanamios, some I go school with, some I be there with, they hustle. Now, multi-millionaires them, then they call me, say, "Bo come, you keep then I allow kite. Ebo, Sheki, we can't find you, like to cook for we again, like to serve we again." I say, "When I saw God say for now." So, despite all the glitter, I maintain a small corner. After 2018, we suffer much for campaign for APC. Some of we no sleep for days. We find out, say, APC, we lost via dubious means them. So now the awakening come, the transition come now for say, well, we have to actually take a stand. So now the attempt now God said to me, enter into politics. And since I've been in this landscape, before I come safe to the ARM, members them where the Isai and Eskurumai governments had the ideology of ARM and NRM. And they tell me, but they never joined. They stayed in the back. They not joined. They were in the middle, on the fence, you know. When me decide now, I look into things, I took a clear look into this, I made a decision. Because me know they play middle ground, you know, and I went ahead and they come behind the likes of Musa Conteh, Bulldozer, and of course, the man himself, Alfred Conteh, and I desire for stay here. When God called me, you know, say can be minister, you know, say can be anything else but president. And so therefore, I'm aspiring for the presidency of Sierra Leone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sheki. I'll run over to my co-host, Antikadi. Over to you, ma'am.
I'm not sure, man. But we see Mr. Conteh and Mr. Sheki, una welcome.
Thank
We
you very
know
much.
say we will get, yes, we dey hope we get a lot out of una tonight. We don't hear plenty things na social media, and a lot of wetin dey hear na social media, some can be true, some can be lies. So an opportunity we get so for let we self come hear from una, we go ask una wetin we wan hear, and let we get am from the horse's mouth. Let una self tell we. So we say will get to explain, and then the public said will get am from una know the exact thing. So I hope say I will learn a lot from una.
Thank you very much, Antikadi. Let me get to Mr. Conteh. I think he talks you see some way when you go at the APC where you come in because you finally see some dictatorship and something like that. What in actually you see at the APC where promptly say, you know what, they left my job in America and everything, they go inside Salone and go sue the people them. And my second follow-up question on about that is, what you feels you believe in the court, say the court will able give you the justice way they ask for?
Good question. The first thing is, like I say, I go McKinney. I watch. I was there. I watch something similar to what just happened. A bunch of grown-ups, educated men, you know, then bring them in, drag them all along, raise their hopes, you know. Some man campaign, some man not campaign. We go there and put them all. This same de facto leader, which is Anes by Kuruma, can at the stage take the podium. He announced, but before he make the announcement, he threatened people. I never see that much military presence in Sierra Leone. Maybe the only time that during the war, even Johnny Paul Kuruma, where ECOMOG been the threatened, not been get that much military presence. Ernest Koroma bring guns. He bring them hot water machine, truck the way they pump hot water. He say in a president until March 7. If anybody cross the line, he go show and say in a chairman, in a commander of the armed forces. So I sat there, I said, this is not right, you know? And he said, lemon tick, orange tick, not a be a lemon. So when pick tomorrow, if anybody form. So he make all these threats. So right after I pick, before even he pick, the hall been don't make, because it don't raise everybody in hope, you know? And the way how the thing come out, it not be correct to me. So right there now I say, no, the APC constitution not saying a one man they pick. No sign. No sign all the way say one person, now they pick the leader of the party. Even Musa say we they do selection. He said na knack they do selection, not to one person. So I was not happy. So right there, I left that evening. Before even I left, I get into some altercation with Memuna, one lady that they call IG Memuna, you know, because I mentioned, say this is dictatorship or something, and she came rushing. He said, you go run me slap, you know. Now he said, what I said that what they are saying at me. He said, I go run you slap. Then people they say, hey, be careful, no that woman there. But long story short, you know, police then they restrain them. The whole am way not come close to me. So I left McKinney. Look at this violation of the APC constitution. I looked at the violation of the Sierra Leone constitution, because every political party in Sierra Leone for behave or be governed in accordance to the Sierra Leone political system. And the Sierra Leone political system is democracy. And then the APC, we go do selection, which is undemocratic. So from that time, now I say, I have to make sure this not happen again. So when I come Freetown, Sunday evening, Monday morning, the first thing I do Monday morning, I go to Guma building. And when I get to Guma building, I look for lawyers for file a lawsuit. This very lawsuit where they saw today. The lawsuit where they question the legitimacy of the selected executive, because it was gazetted that then they go there for go do selection, you know, and then just slide this thing. So I went to question the legitimacy of this very de facto executive, and also I went there to also question the process at which they select the flag bearer. But the man tell me, say, na George, he say, brah, he say them go nyaka you. He said, this then a power. He say, if you venture, I guarantee you the Pademba road. Even if they say, you want to do this, you know? So from there, I left. I come to the US. I met with people like the late Fode Mansare, where me comrade just mentioned, the late Alex Mansare, and the late Momodu M. Banks, and others, a lot of them. We met and we decide from this ARN what we use for basically reform the APC party. So while we're on that, now somebody tell we say, well, other group there UK and another group there Salone, when are the same thing. So I watched the UK group, they do one short interview. I watch them. I say, well, basically what they say now they say. And then I watch the Sierra Leone group. I spoke to the chairman when at Sheridan, and he said, based on the conversation, are the same thing. So I sent them because the ARM movie now make a 32-page proposal of the way forward. So I sent them with document. I said, this is way to we day, you know. And a few days later, I call him. He say, no, read them, but it's a lot, you know. But long story short, we merge together. We all come together. We form the NRM. And I want to give people them this. You ask something why we're going to court. So when we form the NRM, we decide for walk the line. We decide for meet with the APC executive and tell them, say, hey, we're very interested in waiting happen, and waiting happen when we lost this election. Some of we feel say na the way on act. So what did the NRM do? We take what we call a national tour consultation. We meet with people, stakeholders, people in the markets, all over Sierra Leone, in all 16 districts. We ask them, what you do now feel say we lost this election? And then give a reason. The reason they wouldn't give it just fall in place with waiting most of we think say be. You know, number one, selection. Number two, anti-party activities. Number three, at that time, they may get chairman for life, when they float around. An idea will come up from hell. I call and say come up from hell because I believe saying one of the reasons make we lost so many APC members to the NGC and even to the C4C. So at the end of that, when they put all together, we come to the APC, we submit, we report, and then they basically dismiss the NRN reports. So we now being an option, we take to the media. We go to AYV, we go to other medium, and we propagate, we message, say we need reforms. After that, the APC began meeting, a NAC meeting, where an Eskoroma began attend. So we come, the NRM boys meet with them after the meeting. And Eskoroma, if you remember, one famous picture, also I wear the beret. He basically joined the Reformation train. He said, yes, let's change the constitution. It's overdue, it's about time. So we all believe, some people believe, and we say, no, go ahead, no, change the constitution. So he tell the Secretary General, let them do something about it. You know, what did the Secretary General do? They form a 9-man committee because they know so we have been on the own findings. So they form a 9-man committee. The 9-man committee then go do their own findings. And when they come with their findings, when you compare aspect to aspect, it's about the same. We're waiting the NRM find out. So basically, the people of the APC, the members and supporters, want reform. They want changes. They don't want chairman for life. Where you don't do it for push, Lord Apostle yourself come. So long story short, when an Eskoroma say una review the constitution, una fix the here, then form what they call the CRC, the Constitution Review Committee. Constitution Review Committee, therefore review the constitution from November ending of 2018 to January 31st of 2019. It took them almost all of 2019 for review the constitution and make few changes to that thing that we will point out. So it became a bureaucratic thing. But I just want to give people the line where we follow. So after they don't review the constitution, they said they don't come out with the new constitution, then the de facto Secretary General put out a press statement, a press release, said the APC, they go conventional put local. So when he put out that press statement, the NRM will say, well, wait a minute. Would they go for go adopt constitution? We not for call them National Delegate Conference. We for call them Emergency National Delegate Conference, or we call them mini convention, or we get other name. But when you call a National Delegate Conference, anything before go happen there. Then before go there, they go elect flag bearer or select them. Then before go do anything. But when you get Emergency National Delegate Conference, now for the purpose of one or two items, now that they call Emergency National Delegates Conference. National Delegates Conference, they take place every 36 months. So at the time when they called for National Delegates Conference, it was only 27 months. So we still get 9 months before we get the real National Delegates Conference. Again, we raise them points there, waiting and do, then dismiss we. You know, they just say, we they do anyway. So long story short, we went to the PPRC. We go file a complaint. When we file a complaint with the PPRC look the case in and out, then tell we say we need a executive member before they go even give we answer. So we went around, we get an executive member on the Honorable Robin Fale, a camp. When Robin Fale go, Yansanet deny say not to executive member, you know. So the PPRC come out, they say, well, they're not going to help we. Let we go to court. So then give me this letter say we're going to court. We say, you know what, before we go to court, let's try again other thing. We ask the APC say, una give we the list of delegates where they go to the convention. If we're unable to give we the constitution where they go adopt, una give we a list of delegates. They refuse to give we the constitution, we ask for it, and they not give we. Because we want to see where they go adopt. Then we say, okay, we're give you the list of delegates, so we'll convince them that if we're go to the hall, we're go put them here, they go vote against them. They not publish the list of delegates. This is all violation to the constitution. So we say, okay, since we not do them to here, at least we're give we some delegate status and observer status. At least if not 20 of we go as observer, we can able compare notes and try for convince delegates them not for vote for this new constitution. The APC refuse. So it get to the point where we don't get no option. I just want to let Baku people know this. So we not be get option. We try one more thing. You know, the NRM went to the veteran wing of the party. We met with them. We explained to them what they go on. The veteran themselves tried for intervene. Again, the executive, the de facto illegal executive, said nothing. So at the end of the day, we were left with no choice. So this with the talk of Tuesday. The convention is Friday. Wednesday now we meet with the veterans. They don't agree. They're not able to persuade them for do any of them three things that day. So at the end of the day, we were left with no choice but to file an injunction. So we go to the Sierra Leone High Court, and by the special grace of God, we file an injunction. So we injunct the Potloko Convention, will before take place January 10, 11, and 12 of 2020. We injunct them. So after the injunction, instead of them coming and try for say, okay, let's talk the case, then go after the NRM personally, then call we, they say we know to members of the APC, even people who produce party card, they say no, we are members of an organ of the APC, which is the youth wing. And they use all kinds of things for discredit the lawsuit. They're not able. So they lost the first phase of the objection or reply or challenge. So after that, we go to the next level, which is the trial. So they keep calling for adjournment, you know. We see the NRM, they go October they come, then people are not talk to we. Let we write letter. So the NRM write letter. We write letter to the establishment. We say, hey, we get lawsuit. We're not willing for consider and talk to we. Let we talk this. Let we see the way forward. Now we call for this particular dialogue. We end up for go get the MOU. When we write to the second, took them next answer we. So now we say, we write to now. Una get letter. Now the tenant say, well, they get the letter, and then they found the facilitator when Dr. Bangura, you know. Dr. Bangura try, put everything together, and then they end up for go sign an MOU. But the process where people don't know, after they sign the MOU for kicking on the 10th of November, nothing will happen. And the MOU not this sudden, after the NRM case, they don't manipulate, they don't find the way out. The issue statement say, then they go hold convention again. So when they say that they go hold convention, without addressing all these issues. I will go on convention without addressing all these issues. So that's when we decide the ARM say, you know what, would they injunct them. So we file a lawsuit and the convention with them. Injunction I hold up to now, and I want to tell people say the injunction is still alive and active. Even the convention where they go, even though they not obey all the court order, I want to let people know say now because the court allowed that. It's now court order than the issue for let we get convention between that date. Without any court order, there can be no convention in the APC as long as this case they go on. And they use this opportunity for give a warning shot to the I receive flyers where they pass. I don't know how true it is. It could be fake if somebody wants us. Still an active injunction as we go on right now. So they cannot go and do anything. You cannot hold any convention. It will be a violation and you'll be arrested. Something will happen.
All right. Thank you very much. That was a lengthy one. I believe say you don't put so many things out there. People are going to break through now when they call and go no. So I've asked the questions to them. I work out to Sheki. He say something where they give you false statement. Very, very interesting. They say Ona lost the APC lost the election because of some dubious acts that way people can do. If you're able to tell family now which dubious acts them where you face the party mean do. And secondly, we not say plenty people now most of the respondents say the former president get the chairmanship for life. So me one question now is what would I give them that chairmanship and also most people I mean they way whether they stop them or because some of we don't know if they may stop them or not stop them or people then just hand them over. So if you're not going to enlighten we how he even gets that kind of position for life, would that people that may object time, people not object time, Natuna may accept or later on a change in their mind. If you go help we on that, so we understand what will happen, sir. Over to you.
Well, thank you very much. In the years of 2015, 16, I've been get calls them from people and maybe they close to the seat of the president. Especially one gentleman in Nigeria who he called me in 2017. He said, Prophet, I've been following you for a long time. He said, I guess high respect for the position we take is an APC. He said, me now be a close attaché to Ernest by Kuruma. Now we did a lodge, now we did a state house, everywhere, now me and they go. He said, but I don't run come Nigeria for my life now because I don't want make Ernest Kuruma kill me. I say, wait in the go on. They say, well, many things them when they go on, when me see, I not agree with. Me na born APC man, a Creole guy. He say that Madabio don't come na lodge. They sneak in way in there clandestinely 2, 3, 4 in the morning for go meet with Ernest Kuruma, and they left with big bags of money. So when I begin to get the reports there from various sources, then I begin to harbor a suspicion, you know, that something can go wrong, you know. So when we find out say we lost the election, it was very easy for me for go back and pull the story and then bring it up and say, well, now we can investigate now things then. And from what we don't see from back then to now, it clear say that the functionary chairman, he gets some kind of bad fellowship with the current ruling government. Where even Stevie Wonder, a blind man can see for say It played a great role in the demise of the APC and the loss of the APC in election in 2018. All Anes Kuruma has been doing since he came into power and for destroy the APC. He don't fetch all the strong one, then he sidelined the whole. Now come to even McKinney, he delegates emergency conference to adopt the constitution. And we feel say when Conteh, he was not to be there, he go act in a way like where he act, where he go na Togo, where he go na Somalia, I believe, and other places them for go observe the elections, they may ensure that they follow democratic principles them and rule of law, you know. But instead, what we see he do again, for create more anarchy within the party. You see, the Sierra Leone police force and other services, them security services, they took much efforts, arduous efforts them for ensure say no katakata, no go kumona makini. Because whenever you have these things happening, various factions there make it happen, you know, something can spark off. Now it makes so when they met with the PPRC and all, they say no t-shirts, no banners of no flag bearers them, you know. When Anes Kuruma came, he incited the riots inside the APC, mentally, and he tried to do them physically, in the sense that he called my colleague aspirants them. He make them face the crowd, and he called them all munkus them idiots. He blamed them all for everything happening inside APC. The killings, the imprisonments, the sackings, you name it. Now, let me say one pandemic, we turn around and say, I want you to take your words them back. I no go tolerate that from you, Mr. Chairman. Then one person of the crowd take chair and throw him pan me, or maybe pan Richard Conteh, or whoever else, or Alfred. Then we self your supporters them, we are family members. Then self take chair through it. Then before you know it, we now have pandemonium. So Anes Kuruma even jeopardized the lives them of people that are convention day. And this like continue for do over and over, either by in silence or by in speech, you know. So I believe saying handy in the you know, in the deterioration of APC, you know. Now as far as chairman and leader, you know, me not see anywhere inside the APC constitution where you can do that, you know. So I don't want to speak much on that because not official things than at all. We not get no law way back. Before, you have to have the law first for make you legitimate before we even discuss that matter there. There is no law within the APC we allow Anes Kuruma to be chairman and leader for life. You see, so make we no waste too much time by that day. Before I just rest my case, make a point one thing about Alfred Peter Conteh that many don't know. Some of you now know Alfred Peter Conteh, when they read them the wrong way. Alfred is a man of God as well. Now, possible I don't share lengthy discussions, hours and hours with. Now, a possible way to get the fairness of God. It belongs to a church who is very committed. It donates to the church. God in business. Now, man, we afraid God, not to the regular kind of secular people out there. Now, man, we live in life to the service of God. So when people are trying to assess Alfred, put that inside there. No, put that inside there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I will over to Auntie Kadi. Any question for the
Well, Sheki, as you say, this um, this chairman for life, we not go dispute that dispute am because you say the constitution. You see, but not on a constitution, but una get a higher body wey na the is a national advisory conference or something where they can
Committee.
amend the constitution if they want to amend and they. You see, so at any point that the amended constitution they for make it include the appointment of the APC leader as chairman for life.
I'm sorry, you asked me if at any time did they amend the constitution?
Make I repeat am back. Yes.
Mhm.
Sorry, I do this thing from a phone. For some reason, my computer in battery done. So at the charger now, at the charger now through the cables, but a very low. So na me phone I dey use. So they wanna bear with me. You see, what I try to say here is this. Say non part of the constitution, no say therefore appoint him as chairman for life. Okay, that was the supposed 1995 constitution, I guess. But on our constitution, the constitution say at some point say on the highest body in the Delhi national advisory conference, national delegate conference, we na day una can pass everything. So that conference they can amend on a constitution for do away with provisions the way they did. At any point, they be amend them na any of the national delegate conference we make them as chairman for life because it's not good at but sometimes inside there's a possibility say they do that at the advisory conference or maybe they're not doing. You see, so I decide for ask if that will happen at any point.
No. That no happen at any point. No happen at any point whatsoever. And you also have to consider that there are people in the NAC where they're not supposed to be. They're illegal as well. So if we come down to it, you know, they're not supposed to amend anything, try for make any laws or what, take any official act in APC because they not follow the constitution, forget the offices they wouldn't hold. Many of them came in via selection, as Alfred don't say already, and a whole lot of them are illegal, thanks to the reckless, narcissistic governorship of Anis Kuruma.
Where I want to ask, I think not to Mr. Conteh, where they say you mentioned about how an Escoma imposed the president, the former presidential candidates on everybody, on all man. You see, so but from waiting, I don't clarify this for me. You get me? Because from waiting, the former president be asked them, say let them go choose a candidate. And give them, let them go, they're not able to choose person. Then the former candidate and tell them, say, well, if they're not choose a candidate, the minister go choose for now. Is that correct?
Um, if you are yes or no, I can give you a big no.
Somebody in system the
But
echo.
if you want to
Somebody down.
explain,
No, just yes or no
yeah, I think,
first. Now yes?
the answer is no. It's a no.
Okay, no. So you know, we ever tell any of the aspirants and say let them go choose one. where they come, they're not able to choose, then that's making choose for them. So that's not being happen.
It not happen.
Okay, so which means now that make it good will get to Nanaya because now all that they go on social
Well, I
media.
explained, that question there. Um,
Yeah.
I think the main host for mute, I might the echo. I see Sheki, I don't know. But anyway, what they say here, um, the only people that we tell for go P1, where you Potloko. Because from Potloko till we get Potloko district, then we get several people, we be want. So we tell them, say, when I go pick one from Potloko, when I count that one day, they not be able to pick one. They all say they want. That's be everybody that, but I don't know how true. But I be get somebody when I be aspirant, where they not ever tell that. What he do with them, he give them all, he raise their hopes. I mean, listen to the president. He even make the man write speech. He read the speech, now he make correction. He say, go make them corrections here. The man make corrections, he bring them back. Now he say, good. And the man go there with high spirit, with hopes. You listen to John C. say, he get your story, we go tell you. And then Skoroma sit down, all let they talk. He said, he don't powerful. He raising hope. He listen to Dr. Kelfa. So he do the all. So if I tell them, so I go pick one on account, that's not true. Now, in go inside, after I don't raise the all hopes, he go inside, because waiting to the all the relax, let the power waiting no more, he say, now because he don't tell you, say, now you are the key. So all man go say, well, you pick. You know what I mean? Even that, it not be happen so. Because when you go meet with NAC, based on what we hear, it tell Victor Four let Victor Four come out because Victor Four was member of NAC. He said now you they can't talk about Comonado. The man Comonado with confidence again. Waiting and talk inside and say he just tell them that I don't pick. Now then the cry begin first inside that room. Instead of make that false cry from cry. He picked he picked the flag bearer, then he picked the deputy flag bearer, running mate. This not ever happen in APC. With constitution not get that permit. That's one level to rest. Not ever speak like a bully pulpit as the dictator where don't prove to be. He come in, he pick who I want, he say, oh, I'll go dance. Tolombo, we'll go na Tolombo. But people of APC is intense this. Not to eat a pick for we, not after you don't can do with this, you want to can Tolombo. People refuse to go vote. Not to say they don't beat we because we will not get the numbers. So. But people stay home. People don't vote. So we have to pay attention. This federal effect, so we make even one go Sierra Leone and not attend the convention in protest is because this na numbers game. Politics, not to who that you feel. Na numbers game. If you go disenfranchise against 3 districts, Cambia, Bo, and Kono. If that people and they in turn say we not a vote, the corner not be allow we let we vote for we delegates them. I lost go free town in solid for those people. I know they go this one, Also the do. So Roma like how my brother say the guerrilla organ of the APC, Opshek, is very clear. And Eskoroma is the problem. You go inside out all day. God forbid.
Mr. Conteh, one follow-up question.
There's no way. I don't care whether they are around.
Yeah, Mr. Conteh, one follow-up now, though, because the same question I asked Pastor Sheki, I want to ask this question again. It can only come up over and over and over. How do Anes become the leader for life? People that still want to know how it happened for BST, because this is where all problem come from. Now they start, and now they eager for continue. How he become this leader for life?
Well, I explained to you how it starts. Now, there it starts, okay? because of the sycophants, let me put this straight. Then people always call on stage, then kind of day, because that is so a point. Now say below rum, backbone. They're weak, my brother. So now they all surround them. By Mahmoud, when are the youth president of the party, and I will also make youth minister. Now, by Mahmoud, start this one for life. Then go to conference. Now they then go crown him chairman for life. And after they make this chairman for life, it's a buy into it. And never come out up to now and dispute, say, I'm be chairman for life. In one time, if the party go gear, now make it say, even if the judge pull him, he go run again. This is a postulate that say don't tire. It tell we say after 3 months he go resign, but he's still in it. And he say if the court pull him, he go come back, he can't run. And in a get. By the way, Anes Koroma is not just chairman of the APC. By virtue of the opposition in Sierra Leone. Now for the opposed SLPP. But like he said, nothing, they read from the man. So with that type of record, whether they attack members of the APC, they do nothing. He get I don't want to use the word, but he get the mind for say, he go run again. Because it been the deal with sycophants. So that sycophants there, after by Mahmoud don't go declare chairman Ismail in chairman for life of the day, they're legal. They want to make them correct. And they tell you the injunction at Potloko is stop chairman for life. If they may go to them, if we go make them chairman for life, they may not plan them. But we injunct them, work. The other how them want to do so this quick one, them want go again for go make a chairman for life. We stop them, work. And as Koroma, they have to ban him from politics. The only way he goes, he does and be like a statesman. But so long as they left him, let the parade, he won't be chairman for life. It's no joke. So whereby Mahmoud nominate him chairman for life, the next thing where they begin parade around with that. If anybody go back to this before Parliament 2018, before they make recommendations. Amongst them, one of the things that would have been proposed if Parliament been come back, say APC be win, one of the amendments that they want to make to the Constitution is if you're not a member of APC or a political party and you're not president of the country, if you're not president of your country, political party tell you or kick you out or drive you, you're no longer president. Even if the people been elect you and give you mandate. Your mandate for rule the country, it depends if you belong to a political party. Now, those recommendations, if that kind of thing,
it's not the on. I mean that criteria did not honor the Constitution because party gets that one day up till now.
No, it's not there on. If I waiting and they abuse them, when they want pull some sumana. This is what the Sierra Leone Constitution says. It says at the time when you run for office, you belong to a political party. After you don't become elected, the mandate where you get, now the people of Sierra Leone don't give you mandate for rule for a particular time. So when they elect Madabio and Julde, each one of them, the people of Sierra Leone give them mandates for rule for a period of 5 years. After that, then for come back, if the people want to re-elect them, they re-elect them. So what did they do? The same JFK, how they misinterpret the Constitution, they use that, say, if they pull the Chief Sam Sumana out of the APC, then automatically he cannot be vice president. But also the Constitution say, this is why legal minds like Dr. Abdullah Conteh and others, they write beautiful articles about that. The Constitution not say when you don't become. It said during the time where you dey run. So then we want change now where you don't become. And if they been change where you don't become, and as Koroma being chairman of the APC, it will be what you call emperor or czar, which means it got in a chairman for life of the APC. Which means you're going to tell anybody in a president, say, I want to let you shuffle cabinet, I want to let you appoint this. If you not do why they expel you. When they expel you, you're no longer president. Rico, if you be winning, Rico the vice became so now. So everyone, the chance and the main plan that's what they get. But by the grace of God, we scatter them.
Okay, well, thank you very much because we don't hit the 1 hour mark and the phone lines. I guess we get 4 people already on the line. So let's begin. The callers them do not today not only 2 minutes would they allow, and you can disagree, but will not they allow any disrespect. You ask a question and then go answer you. Would they take the first 4 callers them and then I go and then whatever question they ask, we'll go and I'm over to us. So for now go write some questions and down when they ask or their own comments. So when I go able to come back and reboard with whatever them say. Lord, bring the first caller in. Good evening, caller. What name will say the call from, please? Good evening, caller. What name will say the call from?
Yeah, this appears Jalo. They call from Kalangawala, Nadilako Masama Chiefdom, Putloko District.
Yes, sir. So what time you want to take on this program tonight? 2 minutes, sir.
Okay. I tell you now all thank you for Sidon and when I make law note today, which you bring APC their laws, which in our ARM then come one because we've been doubt. Somebody like Mr. Jalo, Mr. Conteh, I tell you now thank you for kind of this podium for make we understand. Now the question is, Anes Koroma, this convention with them own. Now the court give them order. The court bypassed the injunction. I'll finish with 2 minutes, maybe probably when I go answer the question. APC get problem from the beginning of Sheka Stephen, they get a system of making the vice president look low upon the people. Sheka Stephen take a bully to SI Koroma, then Anes Koroma do the same thing. It affect them. It affect the party. Because the vice president are other popular person at the party. If you bully that person there, it will damage the party. So APC get this history of having this problem. The ARM, I will say maybe if una succeed, una can one of una camp and power, so una go avoid anything. So last stop here so far. We're gonna village at the another better.
All right, thank you very much. We'll question that as soon as we get it, then we may other 3 people in. Let me get the next caller in. Good evening, caller. What name will say the call from?
So last stop here so far.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what name will say the call from?
The viewers.
Yes,
yeah, I really want to tell you thank you for this particular program. But one thing I just observe, you know, APC is a very big party. I just believe, see, if viewers should they come up with such a program like this, I don't know whether maybe we'll have contact anybody from the secretariat so that we go get a balance. Because myself and somebody where they follow, you know, the politics of Sierra Leone. Even they observe say a lot of things where they got the raise were not true. Yeah, because of course even the constitution of APC, they talk about selection and the election. And we all know what because that one during the 1995. So I believe say if anything for we don't change that in the and for we don't go into a national delegate conference, whereby if they want election, then go with election. But it was be still election. So we all be the follow during the 2018 elections before that time. waiting be the gone. The different people that maybe they put come up for this flag bearer business and APC. I lay consultation upon consultations. Then go McKinney. Then go. Fortunately, they elect whosoever. Yeah, we don't say even Sheki. If Naina be elect Alfred Conteh, he said be there among. Trust me, Alfred not for be happy. So that is just natural. Me that I believe. So I believe say they all know what it cost to them. You see, so if they decide for do a move like quitting and do so, of course, which is fine. You know, at least for reform, which is fine. Nothing no wrong, you understand, for that. You see, of course, even some of even if we not support now, some of them good things say we just want to see. You understand, for we country. You know, let good things they happen. But at least
Thank
for
you very
the
much,
blast, begin the blast, you know, at least.
Very much, caller. Let me get to the next caller. Good evening, caller. What's your name outside the call?
Hello. Hello, viewers.
Yeah, what's your name outside? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Good evening. This is Fadima. I watch on a show, but I beg for one more extra minute, next 3 minutes. I just want to get some questions. Then while I ask.
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
Honorable retired Judge Lee, he said I sponsor Mr. Conteh. Well, Mr. Conteh said I am the founder of whatever, and that judge said I am the founder. He said I am the sponsor financially for what they do so. So the day when we interview APC, they get in convention. So he said they don't come up with a constitution. But I ask and say, una not get all what una wants na the constitution, and this is going to Mr. Conteh. Una not get all not all una go get what una want in life. You get for negotiate, you get for give and take. Are you satisfied, Mr. Conteh? Because now you are the face right now of it, then you get the sponsors underneath. Are you people satisfied? Because when I get 2 more years, una one of the main opposition parties. It's 2 years yet to dip on this tug of war. And are you satisfied with waiting una don't count with so far? And then the other question goes to Sheki. He says they make chairman and leader for life. Where were all of you when una allow such thing to happen for the longest time? And is it because some people then feel hurt? Some people, or are they doing it genuinely? Because I sometimes you look at I look at these people on social media. I look at all these aspirants. I look at all the ones they've done. I see nothing what I don't do for the people of Sierra Leone. For sure, say they want to be a leader. For sure, say they care about the people. It's all about everybody wants the position, but when they are on the side, I don't see nothing. So my question to Una and the panel, Una where they talk, and they ask Una again and to Sheki and say, Una all been there, Una allow this for happen. Choose for waiting and call, then okay, it is good to change. It is good to fix the wrong after action review. When Una fail, Una go back to the number. What did we do wrong? And this is good for going back to the constitution. But the draw Una different draw look like Una not getting our heads together. Too many noise in the APC party. And how will you people come together for 2023 if Una want for defeat the SLPP because of the area Una the Allah say Una get to come back to power? I mean question then they will get for us. So this is Fadima again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Auntie Fadima. One more question, one more caller, then I'll get over to the guest them and Kadigo follow up on that. Good evening, caller. What name inside the call from?
Mr. Towley, good evening. I'm Dr. Kabu. I'm calling from the U.S. I was listening to you guys, even though I'm not a politician. I'm a spiritual person. I was listening to the man that says he's a pastor and he's a Creole. First of all, since he wants to serve Sierra Leone, And they said as a Creole, I would like to know his background. Because to my understanding, being a Creole is a tradition, and a Creole person is not going to go from the beginning. You went to Egypt. Like you said, he's an imam or something. And now he's a pastor. And now he wants to go into politics. Because to me, being a politician and a man of God is not the same. God called people and he chose them to work in his ministry. And now he said God told him to go be a president of Salone. It's unbelievable. But why? What really, really, really is his background? Because this is really confusing. This is, to me, it looks like the same thing that is going on in Salone. People get up, everybody want to do something. Now you said, okay. Yeah, say you are this, you're Creole. I would like to know his background.
Thank you very much, caller. I will give the guests 3 minutes each. Then Auntie Kadigo follow because we get the phone calls and they come now faster. I will start with Sheki, 3 minutes. I follow you go summarize what's in the caller, then they go answer them. Mr. Conteh, then Auntie Kadigo follow up on that after that. Over to you, Sheki.
Thank you very much. I want to say to Honorable Fadima that on behalf of myself, the ARM, and friends of Sheki, we extend sincere condolences to you and your family because we get intel that you have lost someone, so we had and prayers go out to you and the family. Now, in response to the doctor, I have to say that you kind of misheard the communication we're having. I mentioned that the gentleman in Nigeria, they call me, one of my sources who was close to Anes Kuruma, he is a Creole. So I want to straighten that out. Your next point is how can a man of God be a president? You say you don't believe so. Well, I want to know, first and foremost, your own Christian background, your own theological background, whose seminary school where you go, whose Christian college where you go, forget authority in the Bible for can't talk so, because Bible not a philosophy. The Christian religion is not philosophical. There's a book that we follow that explains how we are to order ourselves. I think they call them basic instructions before leaving earth. They coined that term there, But may educate small. In the Bible of itself, we see many leaders who were men of God. We see David was one. We see Joseph was one. We see Jehoshaphat was another one. Now we fast forward that even Jesus Christ is another one. And the Bible says he will come back and rule the world for 1,000 years. And we Christians see him as the Word of God, who is God, and they come and rule for 1,000 years. So, furthermore, when we pray for intervention, our God will pray to. Who that God for call for can help? If we take somebody with the worship Babaloa, Brian Kama, Senor Savat for can intervene, or nine set for can dong. You see, but even God himself is a ruler. Himself now, president. The God you claim to serve. You see. And lastly, I will say that there are many presidents and leaders in the world today who are pastors, evangelists, everywhere. And I believe say the world will be a better place Salone will be a better place if we have a God-fearing leader. This is what we lack. But you know that you God-fearing, you can be a good person. But there's nothing wrong with having a God-fearing leader. Because so far, the ones that we will get, we claim say they're not people of God. You go see them one day, then they are, and then a lodge, then they go to a Catholic church, which contravenes everything that the Catholic Church says Catholics should do. No partake in a lodge at all. Then they'll go to a mosque, go pray. And Islam say, unless you dey under ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammad abduhu rasuluhu, with the shahada to testify that Allah is one and Muhammad ibn Abdullah my messenger, you cannot offer salat inside a mosque. You cannot do it. Then they'll come out there, then go Sokobana. Then they'll come out there and go here. So they haven't decided yet. We need leaders them who have decided, like Moses at the age of 40, because when he was young, Ingrani was Pharaoh's wife. A mama na be Pharaoh's daughter. But a real mama was a Hebrew woman. So nine also be nanny. The mommy, your mama biologically tell her one thing about the Hebrew God. But Egyptian mama was secular. It tell them another thing about the many gods of Egypt. But when Moses got to the age of 40, the Bible says he made a decision. He made a decision and stuck with it to the point where he even killed an Egyptian, women affect one of the young people. So I hope say I don't answer your question adequately.
Well, Mr. Conteh, if you say we will answer some of the concerns the way the caller them get before we get to the next set. Over to you, sir. 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't know why that woman they can't catch one doll prophets in Crow. So don't give me the one doll Bible from Genesis to Revelation. Well, I'll go to the caller. Thank you for that, Mr. Prophet. So I'll go to we callers. Okay. I think the first person talk a lot, but the main two I get, he ask about selection. You say, I miss selection, then the question. I want just for that, so people understand. The Constitution, like how the caller say, they write the Constitution in 1995. In 1995, rebel and been there up to Songowa. So in the Constitution, they put selection for areas where they're not going to go, then go select. But one thing where the Constitution put where an Eskoroma and in legal team, when a JFK and others, then ignore. The Constitution say, in fact, people call them election by selection. Okay? You don't just go, you go select everybody. The Constitution say certain offices we get for elect them. And then people in there, now then they turn around, then select the rest of the executive. Okay? So the Secretary General can never be selected. He must be elected. Usman Fode Yansane was selected and never elected. The Deputy Secretary General, the Publicity Secretary, Deputy Publicity Secretary, Organizing Secretary, Deputy Organizing Secretary, the Treasurer, Deputy Treasurer, all these offices were comprised of what we call the Secretariat of the APC. They must be elected. We left that. We go to the regional executive. The regional chairman must be elected. So are the executive. We now elect to a situation of war and waiting. This body who I don't call, then can turn around and select. Even the flag bearer and the deputy, the chairman and the deputy chairman of the party, they can be selected. But they can only be selected by the 5 members and the executive or the group where we call the board of trustees. That then they turn around and do the selection, which is the secretary general and the secretary, the regional, then round, elect the deputy chairman and the chairman. But if you read the constitution, it's in a knack they do that. So when we get to an emergency situation, we do selection, but the people where they do the selection, we for elect them. So what Ernest Koroma do, not elect nobody, he select everybody. So now they spoil the constitution. So I believe so I don't answer that person there young. I think I not bit, but not get the second caller, he hit on the area of chairman for life. It's also we all been there where this thing they happen. Well, my brother, I just tell you, say, during Ernest Koroma as sitting president in Sierra Leone, I go challenge him. The very system, you know, go and Kenny machine guns and there. I even issue my voice, say, I sound my voice, say, this is dictatorship. So some of which challenge him. And when I left Sierra Leone, I came America, 2017, and Ernest Koroma was still president. Anybody who be know me on social media back then, especially WhatsApp, then could tell you say yes. We remember this man, he been asked 2 questions every morning. I said, when is Ernest Koroma going to come out and denounce the chairman for life nomination and the thing Samura? Why the man foreign minister begin campaign? Because time be not short. October when they go appoint the man, will be about 6 months before election. But he left the man for being foreign minister all up until December. He said December when they do in thank you tour, now he go introduce the man to the world. So I just want to let people know I did not begin the fight. So I was in fact one more reform start with the chairman for life. Then when we go McKinney go do selection. Then I had the removal of some constitution to the campaign. So in fact, the ARM, if we read with documents, those are the things where we begin fight. The last one, the woman asked, basically, they summarize, he asked, but the prophet, religious ritual assurance, say God tell Allah be this. And I believe say the prophet, the way I answered, and they are no need for going inside there anymore. He really answer is scatter, So I think I believe I answer all my question.
I think so, yeah.
Well,
because we got more
go ahead. Yeah, I'll excuse you 1 second. I can just interject and add my own shilling to what Alfred say regarding the question that Honorable Fadima presented to me. Usai maybe day, as I say that I've been a lifelong member of APC, but when we have issues inside APC, we must try to work it out inside us, not to street to go and go. You see, so I've been inside the house trying to work things out. Mina, one of the most loved or the most hated in APC because I stand for Salone first, and there are many times when Ernest Koroma will tell people for can't tell me, for take it easy or this, that, or whatever, But I have been inside our house, this is our APC house, working to straighten things out. But they've been adamant to the point where we have to seek judicial intervention or intervention from the grassroots, the populace, you see. Just like any kind of relationship with your wife or picking a family them. Fortunately, I've been happily married for almost, I'm glad they say we're fluent and so I say how long, it will beat me. I think about 6 years now, happily married. And when we have issues that inside us with the handle them, God is so good, they never get to the point where we get for call, fambul them, or go na court, go seek intervention elsewhere. So that's where I was, Madam Vadima. But then force we now for come get the grassroots their own support, because many in the grassroots they are not well informed. They're not well informed, you know. And so we for bring the news can to them what is really going on. And we thank God that since we have been doing that, many are now well informed. And when you are well informed, you can act accordingly based on the knowledge, the power of knowledge.
All right. Thank you very much. Auntie Kadi's over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, I can ask the question they were asked, now just short one. Yeah, we are not just yes or no. Yeah, maybe one or two sentences because I get another question where they follow where I get for us. The first thing we I want to ask is since we are all children at the same ARM, so it appears as if when are they in the same line, they fight for democracy and justice according to we think and I think. So una young group, na the same una group they think in line with the big six. I'm not say una and the big six na different people there. Correct me if I'm wrong. The big six is different from una. Is that correct? Yes or no?
Okay, Alfred, that.
Yeah, Mr. Alfred, the big six
Well,
is different from
yeah,
una the ARA.
yes, we different, but you question
Okay.
we ask, not a yes or no question, you know. Um, we different with the big six because the big six, them form themselves, and the main they are now being part for take of the party. The one them believe in an Eskoroma they give them power. So now I make give away call in a stage, it molest them before the wonder wall. Tell to us how they talk so. None of them. You can only phone technology, they can only phone, you press record, you dispute. You become a man once in your life and dispute what you have say. They can't. So when the big six will not no side. Right now, an Eskoroma, then put her across the room from me, in not mind tell me what you tell them. Because the answer right there. You know? So when they're not all the same, we the fight for the grassroots, we the fight for equality, and anybody who hates APC, we want police party, like how Anes Koroma want Poelam. It want massacre and for we. Now them people and they would affect. So big six,
Yes.
they don't care about what waiting, then just want become flag bearer of the party, and then care about. So with ideology, now they are not men. This now the upwardly party. I agree with Anes Koroma. Because they're not a man, when they go under and go, how can they molest you to this level? The same people let me then at stage 2017. It bring them, it fool them, it stupid them. It bring them again 2021. Now the same stage, it molest them, it stupid them. Up till now, none of them not say. Me, if me not be APC supporter, I dey support any of them. That word when he say take care. Now take care, na me take care them. Okay? They not get no political excuse or justification. And as Koromai would say, he not go support them if they run for anything. What you get left? They must destroy una highway. What if the all the party? I join an Eskoroma on that.
Thank you
You
so
know,
much. Wait till make a a short question because I be first ask if una na the same people then as do a second one say if una think in line. So I be just want to know yes, but a good way to explain that. The thing way I want to ask you now, you get me. See from where you talk now, you know all the big six steps. Like I just put one question to you directly, do ya? Where now for me that one understand. Is JFK part of the big six?
Well, I think that's a question for the big six. I've never seen him. JFK, I think na lone wolf, and I don't see he make any move, let's say, interested. But time will tell. But I believe, say, the big six and say a sinking ship on border for, and just waiting they go on. The big six, I mean, they are part of the problem. I agree with the former president. The only thing, good leader not go do and the way I do them. You know what I mean? But they are the problem. So I just want to clarify that. We the fight for solve the problem of the APC and for rescue the party. We not a look for create situation where we not care if the party are lucky whilst we turn out for be flag bearer. No, we have tried for say, listen, let we fix the party. Let we get everybody into this. Let we all move on. And this man cannot take position. When they go under and say one thing and go under and say one thing. So to me, yes, not a problem that.
I no matter, but I want to think about that. No give chance to other people then. You they go back na court because we understand say you not be there at this last adoption of the constitution. But then the right against social media say you are likely to go back to court. Is that correct, or people then just say assume?
Well, now assume people they assume. Let's say this. The case then a court. The case is not done. What thing happen, the judge give we an order for let we go do three things. But they do it in the form of two. Okay? Elect delegates, adopt the constitution, and resolve membership issues, and then come back to me. So on October 6th, this month will don't begin so, we for go back na court. Not to me the care we go na court to. The judge say, una go do that here, una come back to me. But what do we do? The same executive, we not believe say them for follow any law. In fact, one of the problems we get as a political party is lawlessness. They not believe say them for follow any law. The judge give them this simple instruction: say, "Una go elect 5 delegates from 132 constituencies, and then 20 wing, and the people away now elected members we supposed for day. Una go adopt constitution, una resolve membership issue, and come back. What do we do? They elect now 125 constituencies. They say, well, 99% we don't get. 5 do. No, court order either execute or you not execute. So because they left 7 constituencies where they not allow the people and for vote, we all see them video where people in a corner, then they stand and say, we want vote, but we not give them chance for vote. So I look at it, I say, my comrade and they will get for exercise them democratic rights where the judge don't give them. I say, me not go McKinney. And then I find out, say, instead of them go do two things now, McKinney, when I adopt constitution and resolve membership issues, when they go there, they say now one thing and they go to. Then just they adopt constitution. Then not they resolve membership issue. I'll let people know this court order be issued on April 19th of this year. We've been for done for execute them by June. The judge give it 56 days for execute them. What is the de facto executive of Ernest Koroma and Yansanedu? They use lawyer, a funny, the whole world laugh with. Then go appeal a court order. All man they ask say, you can appeal court order, you cannot appeal court order. So they appeal. They lost the appeal. What in them be appeal? They appeal 2 things. Una allow me, please. People need for notice. They appeal 2 things. The first appeal, the appeal say the Secretary General, when I was for the Yansane, and the chairman, when I was Kuruma, then for day na courts, Then for them at the convention. Enough fear where the judge say they're not for daily. Then appeal number 1. Appeal number 2, the appeal say, why we for resolve membership issue? We're not for resolve issue. We get right for resolve membership issue. Well, before I give an answer, the judge get right. Because in APC, every mini, what you call mini convention or emergency convention, now mainly we can go resolve membership issue. Now they use for expel people. Like the former vice president, Sam Sumana, now emergency conference, they expel them. So emergency conference now you can use for resolve membership issue. So the judge know the history of the party, maybe look at past precedents, and make it add say on a resolve membership issue. So they appeal, they lost the 2 appeals. What did they do? When they go convention, Ura they make chair and Eskuruma. Now I want to let people know legality. Now the fight here. And the fight legalities say they're not legal. And when you're not legal, you know the chair convention, brah. You know, this man get legality issue. Now they make like go chair the convention. Even though they lost their appeal, say not for day. But they bring them anyway. You understand? That's number 1. Number 2, membership issue against. Let's discuss membership issues at all. So these are the 2 main things where they appeal against. They lost their appeal and went ahead anyway and do it, which is lawless. So we got to go back in the court. The judge will look at the behavior and see if they're in contempt or not. So me not want go to that convention day because my colleagues the Leka say if they disenfranchise against even one constituency, and not be for go. But come says not for me for Sidon and Freetown. I left here, I be not buy tickets, make travel arrangement for go to the convention. But when I follow that, they not actually for Sidon, Kenny.
Well, sorry, I can just say something quickly, Mr. Conteh say, let's just add my voice. Maybe not exactly in Mr. Conteh in favor, neither am I against Mr. Conteh. When I want clarify, just an issue here, so I want to clarify with and say, I don't know if I understand you, because we say, because say an excomano for go day, then they make it go day back. Now that correct? Now that's you say?
They appeal, say, and excomano for go day, and they lost the appeal, but they make it go day.
Yes, no, because yes, this last adoption when they talk about it and go adopt the constitution. You get me? Now they talk about. Okay, fine.
Correct.
So because I don't know, from waiting me understand is this. An excoma day na APC in 2 capacity. In a get the capacity as the leader of APC. Then they get the capacity as a NAC member. As a NAC member, from waiting, correct me if I'm wrong, as a NAC member, he wasn't supposed to participate in anything wait for organizer conference day or anything. He not be supposed. But even the as an SF, I think he not supposed, but because he has certain duties, where he go do, but not of actually involved with the delegates and all. Whereas an excroman now, and I think it go well, me no know, correct me, it go na the meeting in the capacity as a leader, which is why he not participate in the delegates at all and all those things, but he go there because as the leader, he began to give his speech. You see, because if you notice, that is why him as a leader and the deputy leader, the court no mention them. You understand? For say, they're not for good. They mention Yansane in it, they mention other people, you see. But those 2, I suppose it's because that is what I think, I could be wrong. I suppose that because they are leaders of the party, so they went there, but not to participate in the process at all. But they just being there to witness it. More or less, it's like.
observances they make it go make in speech. I don't see anything. Maybe something is wrong there. I don't know. You see, I'm not saying anything wrong there, but this is how I may see them. Yes, me. I don't know if you see that way.
Well, that's then they sell to the public. Okay, the ruling clear. If not that, because the ruling not change. When they go back, they appeal. The judge say, "Me ruling stand," or "Me orders stand." So it not change. Now then go change things.
But it's
Now
not say
that argument the way they say so.
mm-hmm.
No, you are yes. The argument where they say now the argument where I listen the PPRC chairman give. Now,
Okay.
Anas by Koroma is defendant's number one. And what are the challenge a challenging legality. A challenge say number one is not the legal chairman of the party. Number one and number two, in term don't expire. So when they say you wear the hat as chairman, no. As it is right now, if the APC party been get enough freebound they let me, somebody for the run the affairs of the party from Freetown. Somebody can
Yeah.
go there right now, it take over. He's not the chairman of the party. You understand? Now, 2 hats, 3 hats, 4 hats, it don't matter. All that they do is when one thing disqualify you, you're disqualified. This is how it works. For being qualified by 10 different things. Now, when one aspect disqualify you, you're disqualified. He was disqualified as chairman of NAC. Okay? Chairman of NAC is the designated chairman of the APC. But these are all de facto. They make when they call them, I call them de facto. Then they're there by bully. They're not there legally. So they make us sue them. So anything what they try for say, and as Koroma not in the capacity for sign any document safe on behalf of the APC. It's not legal. Somebody go challenge and down the road. On what capacity? So the judge look and say, yes, this man not get capacity for do that here. So now make it say, no, we go appoint to ourselves. We wanna go select to ourselves. Una all una pamba. Una no goody. But like I said, they bring them there. So at the left and give the judge go look into it. The argument where they bring, now we call logical argument. But when you come to the legal aspect, not legally, not the whole matter, legally speaking.
Well, thank you very much, because I know so we get about them.
Waiting we read na social media, now ask with the ask alone clarify and for we will not be there. And that is one of the reasons why I asked. So that many people within outside
yes, I'm glad for the question. Okay. I'm glad for the question.
I can bring the people that mean because I know the time Mr. Sheki don't come back. Okay, now we'll take like 5 or 6 calls so that the caller will give them faster with them because time don't make keep on with now. Let's get the first caller in.
Yeah, I've been telling I say I'm not going to done, but I'll wait for
that's
them
fine. Yeah, that's fine. Good evening, caller. What time you say the problem, please? Because we got about 17 more minutes. I want to forget a minute. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, viewers. My name is Ibrahim Kromah. I call from the United States. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And I go plead for further time, just like the other caller that we make, because this is very important to me. I'm very passionate about what these guys are talking about. But and me believe, say honestly, that the panel is not balanced. So, and if I raise the question, these are my brothers, Alfred and Sheki. Sheki, they hide small from the camera, but okay, I do understand that. And I respond generally to what they talk about. And then before I go, I get 3 general comments and 3 analytical comments. One, Mr. Conteh say the former president go molest leader. The people, for clarification purposes, so the other way not be followed. The people that were lined up include the former president himself as chairman and leader. And he also include a representative of Alfred Conteh. So why should they identify people where be lined up and say former maybe they want for flag bearer, have to be honest to people that you were lined up through your representative. And secondly, you say big six. The big six where you talk about the big six has been abandoned. Big six not to a faction at APC. Big six has never identified themselves as a faction. As a matter of fact, they don't dissolve, they don't renege on the name, the use of the name, because that name, as far as they are concerned, was not identical to them. It was a descriptive word that was used by members of the party. So they don't say, whereas they be described as big six, they are not a faction, and then basically they're under the umbrella. For the last comment before I come to my analysis, he said the court order was for election of members, five members from each constituency, which is brilliant. That was the case. And the court order, I just want to mention specifically to Mr. Conteh. Mr. Conteh, you may have, and I want you to remember this, you may have compromised your position by the things the way you don't talk today per this program, because you undermine the authority of the courts, and you also kind of undermine the authority of the solicitor, the representative by the case, by reason of the fact that you made statements them where, as a matter which is sub judice, you should not, as a plaintiff, make those statements. And I think so you for don't left hand to the judge for make it find out whether they were legal, illegal, or out of conscience. So that's the general comment then. And now they come to specific analysis. Specific analysis, because Mr. Conteh and Sheki, these are very good Sierra very good citizens, people that will elect with party, and people that will want to see how changes them, where we all want. Now we all want, and not just them or NRM or ARM defect the party. If you now recall after the election, the grassroots, they came against the leader and chairman and all the executive members. This is way before the action was brought to court. So a lot of people, in fact, it forced that situation there. It be so chaotic that it forced the leader and chairman to go public and apologize and take responsibility for the loss of election. All waiting the case where Alfred bring come, where other people then bring come, was perfectly in sync with waiting the majority of the people at the party want. And I believe say they get the support of the people that the party for do what they do. However, if they argue, say, Adeskoma, the one for be chairman and leader, I think they contradict each other. One person they say so, one person they say so. But he was never, it was unconstitutional, and so therefore, he not ever be chairman for life. The rumors they go around, which was scary, but we also know say it was unconstitutional. It was never part of it. Then at the round up to the most important one, where somebody asked, well, I think you guys did not answer that question. What is the role of you guys in the transition? Not just about helping the party to come back or to reform itself, but what's not the role where una get given the situation back home? What's not the role una get in this transition towards the next election? May think say, as a matter of fact, this judgment or the ruling so far is very, very helpful to a party, and you guys have kudos from all of us. We support you. We love what you're doing. But there is a bigger picture. There is a bigger picture that we also should look at. What is that bigger picture? If you look at and listen to follow what things that happen in the country, that is calamity in that country. And we all, as members of the opposition, not just APC, should be worried that if we left the country this way, say election, and we guys are fighting each other, and we're not able to compromise on minor things, even though we don't get the bigger things, they're all sorted out, then we are selling our country to the bad boys, and we are abandoning our people. So me think that encourage you now, as patriotic people, as people that will left on our party, but you have to put the country above the party. Let us see what we can do, what we can compromise on, and then move forward. Make sure say we are prepared, sufficiently ready to challenge BO for the next election. Thank you very much, VOS. And I wish I've been getting sufficient time for come back and respond. But,
Yeah,
but thank you so much
we know
for
today
the
will be tight,
opportunity.
so we go spend time and negotiate for bringing them back. But we give them time because we know see themselves then they work on a heavy time right now. So let's call up quick.
Okay, once this man quick.
No, just put on the wait on the give answer for because I see you they can left. So let it just ask them question and we give man now 2 minutes to stop at now. Answer them because I know say the left so Sheki go left with we. Why you list you let you go because we know say you want for left. Next caller, please. Load down quick, 2 minutes quick. So we'll allow you to answer this one. Then, so you go left. We're not only to the enter. Good evening, caller. What name you say the call from, please? Caller from? All right. If we're not gonna possibly go to the next one because while you hear all the questions, them so you go about guess them one thing another you like. Yeah. What name you say the call from?
Okay. I just sent it already. I sent it already because the man in the red tie, he was rude by his words. You see, this is what these people don't understand. I'm not in the panel. I was respectful. I can hear you.
Yeah, we just listening. We're listening to you right now. You on?
All right. Okay. I was respectable to the panelists because I'm a respectable person. You see, when you put yourself in a panel or in a position, you put yourself in a high position. When people ask you a question, you have to answer to them. You don't have to be rude. And the man in the red tie was laughing. To me, I believe that is being ignorant.
How?
Because
can you explain how?
My question was to the man that says he's a prophet. And the man said he went and turned everything around to ask me a question. What seminary did I attend? Well, I did not say I'm a prophet. I'm asking him now because he just tried to
So
move
how was I rude? Can you tell me how I was rude? You're accusing me that I was rude. Can you explain to me?
I'll let you down. But if you understand, we'll go answer them back. I'll let you down.
Okay.
Go ahead. Just finish your thought, ma'am.
Exactly. I did not say I'm a prophet. I did not say I'm a reverend. I did not say I'm a minister. I'm listening, and I'm not a politician either. Okay? These are the questions people need to ask their leadership in any country, even in America. My senators, I ask them a question. When it comes to the panel, I ask them questions. And they're supposed to give me an answer, not to be rude to me. So this just shows what's going to happen. Because I asked you a question. You turn around and ask me, what is my degree in seminary? No. You should be telling me what seminary you went to, what date you started, when you finished, what is your church, and what's your congregation. You should be telling me that. You should prove yourself to me. I don't have to. I was polite.
So
all I wanted,
I'm the one in the red tie. I didn't say that.
Alfred, I think she's actually. I think she's actually.
I did not call him out of his name.
I think she said, "Yeah, we gotta move on, man. This is." I mean.
Yeah, if I can respond to her.
Confusion that happened in Sierra Leone. But anyway, my question is already there, already posted up. So they can read it and answer to it. I'm not being disrespectful to anybody.
Doctor,
yeah, I gotta go, man. We gotta
Doctor,
I want
let me just
answering questions and then we'll follow up with them. I want to go now 2 minutes each for them. I will just address that quick, please. Because I think you're concerned about that. So now some quick, please.
Doctor, I apologize if I came across as you deduce. I apologize. It's never my intention to be, of that caliber, But the reason why me ask you, Usai, you became an authority of biblical studies is because you accused me. You say you're not prophet. and then you want to be a president. Man of God and politics no mix, and that you don't believe it. Those were your exact words, quote unquote, if I'm not mistaken. Now, like I say, to know the person where the question will come up from, what's your theological background? How have you become an authority in biblical studies to say, because you put clearly that a man of God, a prophet, a pastor cannot be a president. You don't believe in them, but you say you're a Christian. So I wanted to know where you were coming from, because I understand, say, in Christianity we have various denominations, and you might be of one that does not believe in that, and I have to tip my hat to that denomination. Thank you very much. Once again, I apologize if you take it the wrong way.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Mr. Conteh, if you could like 2 or 3 minutes, that we'll get to the next caller, sir. Go ahead.
Beautiful. So yeah, on this particular caller, she came in and accused me, the man in the red tie. Well, I did not even answer your question. So the prophet Sheki was the one who answered questions. And as I said, I can't answer your questions because he answered your questions elaborately, you know. So I cannot go in and answer it. So I did not even say anything. You came and you start accusing me that the man in the red tie was rude. So I believe we clarified that. I'll take it as a misunderstanding. I don't need to with that particular issue. I'm speaking English because you're speaking English, but I notice you can understand Creole because the program is in Creole. But I'm doing it so you can at least understand. When it comes to your question, I did not answer your question. All I did was I refer to my colleague's answer. I said, that's enough. So we laughed about it. So I don't know why you're accusing me of being rude. But as my colleague has just said, he apologized for maybe coming out in a way that is inappropriate to you. And I think we'll take it from there. And I want to say I am glad you're paying attention to the politics, and thank you for calling. But my name and rudeness don't go along, you know. I'm a very polite guy. I like to fight. If it's wrong, then I stand up to it. If it's right, then we get along, you know. But with that said, I don't know if I can answer to the other question or we're going to have another caller. But I just want to tell you guys.
The first caller, you know, you might respond to him. So, okay, I'll go ahead and respond to him one time since you get the floor. At least 2 or 3 minutes because I get more caller that will bring them in. Go ahead.
Good. So my colleague will call from the US. It sounded like a lawyer in voice. In fact, I almost decoding voice. I think I know that call. The thing that way he say, yeah, the Big Six. He's probably a member of the Big Six. The Big Six, not to we create them, not to people give them the name, not then give themselves the name. And since then former, they haven't done anything productive. So if they decide for dissolve them, it's good for them. The reality remains. Where they say at your case, no, every black and white. The court order, I get right for refer to them because it's a public document. Anybody can take them. And at the end of my statement, I say everything then at the judge hand because we get to go back in the court. And the appeal where the APC appeal also is public document. Anybody can go ask for and then go give you. So when I refer to the conclusion of that appeal where they lost, these are all public documents. I not talk anything will jeopardize the case. If we not wish for let the case be jeopardized, there's nothing coming from here we go jeopardize the case. So the ruling say, the court order say ABC, we do FGH. This is fact. We go convention, we not resolve membership issues. The order say resolve them. We not do them. The order say when I go elect 132 constituency, we do 125. So if they do that kind of failure then and you vex for that, or you vex because I tell the big six waiting and become buffoons. The man they use una stand up for crying out loud. So those are the facts. I not do anything where jeopardize the case.
All right, thank you. Article, you want 2 minutes, you want follow up to what in 2 Alonso, just in 2 minutes, because I know you don't hit that 2 hour. So go over to you quick, then we'll bring the rest of the calls in.
No, let me answer the calls then, because I think I'm satisfied with listening. Let me just answer more calls.
More calls, I mean, then we'll get the last, then we'll answer and get the last word because we don't hit the time. The time, like we said, the time okay ever do enough for we. Good evening, caller. What name say the call from, please? These are the last calls, guys.
Good evening, caller. What name say the call from Australia?
Yeah, concern. What time you take tonight, sir? 2 minutes, sir.
I thank you so much. The panel was so good, and we get a lot of things and where they come up in play with people and not be they get detailed information. Where this one come up from the horse's mouth of key players and inside the APC party. To me, as an observer, what happened in the convention was very unfortunate in the practical sense that I followed US politics very keenly. And it's sad for looking at the two political parties, the Republican Party and that of the APC, and the character of the leader of both political parties, the Republican America, Donald Trump, and his Bakoroma. What he do so is of no different of the character of Donald Trump, wherein anybody will stand in way, we disagree with him, he crush him, humiliate him, he take the advantage because he get the blessings of the voters. And that's very unfortunate in any democratic dispensation. You as a leader in those kind of circumstances where you feel say you are grieved or you bitter against your members then, in a much more civilized manner, you can call them to a closed door meeting and address the issue. But humiliating them publicly, will you think you're helping the party or disintegrating the party? Or you making other people really drop off the cliff? Why make this is dangerous for the APC party? As an outsider, it's like, when you look at the strength of the APC and the SLPP in Sierra Leone, they are very, very, very close. It's almost 50-50 in terms of voters. If you're not a leader, you want to draw in more voters into your party, you get people away agree. As a father, you sit them down in a closed meeting. Where mistakes are made, by your side, you apologize. And where the other members themselves make mistakes, they apologize. From there, they can move on to the party. But in this particular stage, at this particular time, as outsider observing politics in Sierra Leone, APC gets no chance in the coming election if they continue this pathway they continue so come in 2023. Because then people in the way they humiliate so today, they wouldn't be humiliate. Let's say Sambura become a flag bearer. Do you think those people that we are humiliated are going to support Sambura again? By now, then go be quiet, but when the time reach, then go back off. What's now the question I go and give them now is, for them there now where they advocate for APC, where they challenge the current leader, waiting at the way forward for the party for coming 2023. Are they going to continue this court orders and court issues in 2023?
All right. Thank you very much, caller. I'll get the next caller. Good evening, caller. Within the most the call from, please. 2 more calls and that's it.
Yes, hello? Hello?
Yeah, caller.
Yes, this is Lance Anasako, they call from Reading, Pennsylvania. First of all, I want to commend the two excellencies, Mr. Peter Conteh and the Honorable Man of God, Sheki, where they on VOS today. I want to commend now one difficult to see this una way they in this particular group NRM. Waiting maker they do that now because in Sierra Leone we don't they follow waiting other people and they do we know they look whether then they do wrong or then they do right. We they just toe the line and follow because the leaders them we get the power for persuade the power either financial or authority. We they follow them no matter what because we want position. But una break away from that. Una break away from that and say enough is enough. Una challenge the authorities. Una speak truth to power, and I read the comments, people them waiting at the same party as Una, even though now for the Una the facts, no matter whether they agree with Una or not, but common sense go show say you are fighting for these people in the APC party so that themselves go able for they in this position and speak, let people read their voice, but they not they see that right now because then your thoughts not only party politics. So anybody who come between them and the party, no matter whether the people in the fight for the entire populace, they not care about that. I don't read messages where they go for Peter for say na a traitor. I don't read messages where they go for Sheki, we're not favorable from APC staunch supporters, even though una says na APC una dey. So I want to say this na the kind of people the way we need na Sierra Leone. Wherein they go look at power, they say, you know what, I don't care whether they're going to overlook me or they're going to overrun me, but I will speak truth to power for the benefit of other people, not for me alone. So that's not what we want. That these are the kind of Sierra Leoneans we want to see. So make una not give ears to una party members the way they go against una, because you know what? When they say knowledge is power, when there is no knowledge, the mind is gone, the rest of the body means nothing. So when they can realize you are fighting for them tomorrow, because of what you did, they will have the chance to become the next president of the Republic of Sierra Leone representing APC. Then they will know if Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were not here, were not came to the United States or never fought the civil rights, but Barack Obama would have never been president today. So you are doing a great job. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, caller. Look at the next caller. Good evening, caller. What name was the call from, please? Good evening, caller. What name was the call from?
Good evening.
Yeah, go ahead, caller. Go ahead. 2 minutes, please.
I call from President. No?
I see the move around. Speak a little bit louder so people don't hear you.
Yeah. Question I will ask you to hello?
Yes, go ahead. Listen to you. Go ahead. I need more listen to you. Go ahead.
Yes. A question I have for them to Mother Aurelian is also Peter Conteh and Yellow. The question I get for them right now, the NRM and the sole aim literally who we know say they stand for what I'm gonna go for. We see about democratize the APC. And now all of a sudden now all what in the demand for agree and don't put on a constitution. Then all of a sudden now they insist about membership business. This membership business that don't tell this clearly say these people are it's like Transmana are part of them, because the whole thing now no go straight to the point. As Transmana they advocate for about membership issue. So don't be the hypocrite on this thing. This NIM Transmana are member of NIM a part of them. So this is the thing. So the whole time people know the show themselves, but now clearly who don't they follow up, we don't see it. Transmana are part of them. Because we see right now will be about membership business. I know that because it's going to say back in the one court. So you see? After you say the NRM like the man I use the Conteh, all this body the possibility to have all this Transmana.
Time done. Thank you very much. I think so we don't get your points. Master Pacheki. Pacheki, you the callers them what you say. So what now you take, sir?
I want for tell all the callers them and the viewers them 1,001 thank yous for taking out in precious times them for actually stand there with we and for have interest in our country or in our party, on our futures them, on our beginning futures them for Kandina yeah. And if they ask me questions then it means a lot. Make a take all the questions and put them in one. I go answer them in one way. And I will take the question from Honorable Lansana Tako and answer all manning questions then. Indeed, the ARM, we senior comrade Musa Conteh, aka Bulldozer, Alfred, me and many others them, not so say safe na APC we put first, na Salone we put first. There cannot be an APC without a Sierra Leone. There can never be a leader without Salone. Never. Never. Inside we own ideology. A Salone first. Without Salone, there's no APC. And what we are seeing in the APC is that Salone no day in the interest of this Tolombo, the way where we want for Siam, the way where it can be. And so, because of that, we step in. Indeed, with the fight for the people them. In 2016, me Newsweek magazine came na me doorstep, I take them, I open them, and I saw a photo of a young Shalonian girl by the name of Aminata. Aminata was about maybe 15, 16, they were applying. He married, of course, to an elder man. He been born one Pekin, and now she was at term for born the second Pekin. Then told Aminata Kera go the main line. Excuse me.
Take your time, take your time.
Then told Kera go the main road. Motoka take him, then Kera go the hospital. This was the Newsweek magazine. White woman reporter go Salone because they say we had big time mortality. When it comes to infant mortality, woman in the born Pekin, no other country no pass away. Then Kera go to the hospital, na the main tongue. There was no light. They put up a stretcher, a gurney, a metal one, no mattress, cold one. They laid a small Pekin panam. They roll him to the theater. It was barren, a barren theater. No doctor, no medical staff. Nobody. Then go to the tongue, go take one lady. Then sew them. For can't burn the Pekin. This white reporter was videoing every inch, every centimeter of what was going on. The blood was oozing from her, between her legs, all on the iron table. Take on a groan, like a way, pump the run. He take picture of Aminata in face, where he eye open, like say, see the angel of death, they can't take him. Make long story short, the Pekin die, Aminata die. Then load them back inside the ambulance, the tight space inside the stretcher. People in Sido Baya, some Sido Baya. Then can I go back to the main road, walk out and go back inside the village. Then go lay inside the cheap block house. No light, a light lamp. They wrap them like a mummy, like the Egyptian mummies. Then they put white powder in their face. You let not grow on the granny and sit down, they watch. This is a time when young party were in power. You know, and at the same time, I was seeing my ministers, my honorables, them flying their women to London for give birth, to vacation, spending $50,000. Today, I don't really can for camp lambast people them. I can't talk about a sense of nationalism when the ARM will get mainly. When a Salone we want put before, we want we party where na day we day. Make it be that party day we go foster such a thing. Where then they know what identifies a party where they woke but they thief. We want a party where obey the rule of law, believe in transparency. It can happen. We are here in the diaspora. We enjoy democracy as it is. We Salone people, we want with money close. We want them motocar them. We want them host them. We want them movies them, the music them, the basketball. But we don't want the mentality. For now we all be together as one, even though we have different divide, but we have a common interest, which is the betterment of Sierra Leone. Look how Madabio come Nayaso. Sansantem it map they tell we say it pay all man salary, even in COVID. It take COVID, put them at the forefront. It's all the lies there so Sansantem. And people are still they clap for them because they say now we mende brother, our pauper brother. But where is the middle line? Usauki meet up. Usauki meet up. The APC does not play a good role in that. So Salone needs a leader where the ARM can produce not just me, many others. Where we want for come unite not only APC but the entire country. We want to make first class and second class citizens done. We all equal under the law. Everybody equal under the law. We want to see the least man where they work make you get $2 million pay every month. We want to see every child born in Sierra Leone make government open a bank account for them, starting with 1.5 million. Where every month government pays that account for that Pikindi. Say 21. We want to see price control. We want to send people out for go check and make sure say that the price control they go on. We want to build a special prison for government officials them. When feel say then they can work for government, for can plunder, for can give bad name to the APC or any party, police, soldier, any one of them, one build a special jail for them. Where you see with the biggest one party APC. Because the Bible says, how can you see clearly for pull person in your dirty na yai? Where your yai is full up with dirty, pull your force. You see, we want to see a Sierra Leone way, they need to take with dirty, can and go China. Say in the name of mining, bauxite or whatever. Let them mine it in Sierra Leone and refine it in Sierra Leone with Salone workers then. We want to see an equal playing field in the financial markets of the world. You see, we want to see transparency in our country, accountability in our country, integrity in our country. Salone by far no poor. Yesterday I cried because I was listening to the national anthem of the ANC, the African, what is it? The national something of South Africa, Nelson Mandela in party. When they sing that song, when they sing Pasarafina, you know, then songs then they of Soweto, when they suffer under apartheid. That was years ago. it brought tears to my eyes because apartheid don't go. Yet still Jacob Zuma is in jail for corruption. Colonizers have gone. Yet still we are buying rice for $400,000. Our president is lying that inside Salone, people are free to speak. When it all lock people in prison, Padema Road, just for their voices. You know, and still our people are clapping for this man. So, we're there in a place to cry, Sierra Leoneans. Maybe because we're so pitiful is why we like enjoyment so much. They say out of all Africans, them, Salome like party pass anybody else. Because now a way for run away from reality, from the filthy dishes in the sink. But when you don't go drink done, you don't go live done, you don't go high done, you don't samadal done, you don't come back to your senses, the dishes are still in the sink. We want to see a Sierra Leone way where they bring investors, they come. Every district, every village, every city must have factory and let people then work. We want to see gender equality, women's rights. We want a vice president when a woman. So we stand for more than just we stand for Sierra Leone.
Thank you very much, Sheki. Mr. Conteh, for make you go, some opportunity to call out and say and your last word to family tonight. Over to you, sir.
Well, yeah, first of all, I want to say thank you for willing to host me. It was, I don't expect I go there, but I don't want to be too rude or become rude and left. So I want to say thanks to the host. To the callers, I think if I remember, Mr. Sako came out and he tell we thank you for what they do. And I want to tell and say, now the real thing, you know, the thing that way the prophet just outlined, these are doable. But I know say don't be America for long, so we mean 2 million, where they say leons, they say dollars. I'll let you know, say I will make correction on his behalf.
Thank you.
And I mean $2 million, or it mean 2 million leons. But I mean, the reality remains, you know. For let we get good governance in Sierra Leone, it starts with what we do so. Let we clean the political parties, you know. Somebody not go down there, in Tuan, they catch and red-handed. You know what I mean? America, if you not get handcuffed, they can put something at foot. You get it in and call again name anyway, but something they restrain you from doing certain things, and you they basically under house arrest. You know, if you get that bank go stay at foot, you want go turn president. Or forget to the point where your very political party they tell you say, "But my friend, clear out." You know what I mean? Go fix that your case there first. Go do this first. So what would they do here? Would they cleanse the party? Would they give power to the people? The prophet Sheki, they don't declare. Down the road, they go Salone, then they get a chance for debates. Or the one they always say they want. On a debate, on an open floor. And on a see, let the people able look from that, then pick. You know? I don't care how you don't do. One of the reasons we make an Eskoroma afraid democracy, where people don't know, in 2005, the last election where APC get, before court can't force them for go vote so again, thanks to the ARM, thanks to we always join forces, we don't force them for go vote so. Before that happened, I want to let people know, the last election at APC, now been 2005, and Eskoroma came with his squad. When they reach to the organizing secretary, it was somebody beat an Eskoroma in person. Where can with? They reached to publicity secretary. They beat Team EBK. That's what I mean. They call him. They beat him man. They got to secretary general. They beat him man. A man that be answer this same answer where they like you partiso was an Eskoroma man. They beat him. Who that beat him? Victor Fo. Victor Fo beat him and like Bubu. APC was democratic. Now, an Eskoroma can't take him. it turned dictatorship because it be shock when Kemosi say lost. You see Victor Fodol Yansane lost. You know now when they reach, we just do it and call the reggae. The crowd not allow let them nominate anybody for run against them. So he go on oppose. But himself, you see as a power before left. From when he take over APC 2005, he not allow let nobody vote. Pass where the court don't twist their hands so by force they say on a vote. Even that they not execute them properly. So when we clean Will party, and our APC know when we do election inside APC, we vote for Victor Folk. We go election. We get what you name it call. We win. We win. Tell Victor Folk that APC selection bridge. Now we no. When they choose somebody who is competent. You know, and when you allow let them select, then they choose them party there, their girlfriend and family. And as Koroman are the only president, we take one old political party symbol, it bring everybody in a host. Dictatorship, bruh. Who I want Nike symbol. Not to say anything, me. I must say the problem na APC na this Koroman. And I make a no fashion nobody, I know they be anything. I want to make sure a pull the party they go forward. The party go expand, we go able to get more people, and we go move on. So all who that ask question, I don't remember on a question, I don't go like you now, because I'm not right. I say I told it. Now for that man we say Sam Sumana, I want to bring that. Me not to proxy for Sam Sumana, I'm not a threat for Sam Sumana. We started this fight and no, I not talked, not except for this convention. I've been there as somebody else, Sam Sumana visit. That's the only time. And that's the first time we meet face to face. You know? I don't know the man. So for say I fight for him on the sponsor NRM, no. I only know NRM, now we sponsor him. You know? Somebody been call it talk about Solitarily Esquire. And now we all the NRM. Now we all start them. But you get to the point where we look and say things that they happen, they were not waiting safe. So we where you call it, fall back to the ARM. And the ARM now we don't move so we don't reach to this level. We join back with them, we join forces with them, but it's been spearheaded by the ARM. Now I'll go to somebody in question where he asks, it's over they look for a democratic constitution, we don't get them. So why we still continue to fight? Well, if you go to the ARM lawsuit, where also in a public document, we not look for democratic constitution. We look for things where they're inside the constitution, where, yes, you're correct, they're inside the constitution. But at the same token, we've been questioning the legality of the current executive. Okay? Then go and select themselves, and we believe they're not correct according to the constitution. Now, my own lawsuit also question on what premise are these guys still holding on to office, because then term don't expire. So nobody no get answer for that. So we they move forward. Somebody asked about interim. Say I need a non-form interim. Now we they move forward. We go by the grace of God. I believe say when we get to that bridge, we will cross it. Because when you question people in legality, if God give a verdict or waiting, we know say we're going to end up with an interim. So these are all things waiting at the pipeline. But only APCians be rest assured, say the delay, somebody talk about delay, if we go dated 2023. You know this. We're not dated 2023 by God power. And as Koroma, the one dated 2023. Because the first verdict came April 19th of this year. Waiting and do, then appeal. Then give it 56 days for go execute what you don't execute so. Then give it 56 days for doing. Waiting and do, they appeal and delay, and lost their appeal. Still, they not do anything. They wasted 54 and a half days, almost 50 days. Right, let's begin try to do something before the Nimara, the weekend come, they miss. we're going to court. Then the judge give them warning, say, we're going to execute this time around. So that one creates problem. And now I tell people, the APC executive get the bold mind for go appeal at the Sierra Leone appeals court. Now I tell you, if that thing kicking, well, that's the delay, because we only scored 6 weeks. 6 months before even the defend judge, if you get luck. So then they take 1 year, 6 months, they not call you case. So then get mind for do all of that because they no one come out. And as Coromado for 20 years, it came inside February 5th, 2001. Then Eskoroma became leader of the APC. He became chairman in 2005. So he don't be leader for 20 years. He don't be chairman for 16 years, going on 17. Wait till again this man wants. He don't be president for 2 terms. Come on at the place. You come in and before you, the Tijan Kaba and others, then come on, Safu, let go sit down. When they need them, they call them and become statesmen. But they go out, like how the prophet say, if they go out, they go pretend like saying a peaceful person overseas, where can in country in a young party in a tyrant. And your tyranny, now only on APC. You know what they do to the other people. In our opposition leader, then they kill people and then they jail them. They don't say nothing. Not a word. But we come and compare APC them, but I blame them. Like I say, they all on the stage. Kamara, they all. Somebody say, oh, you representative Bindidi. Well, I tell people, we meet before people go McKinney. I want to give people freedom. I met with them. I made my case clear. I said, McKinney, for obvious reason. Number one, I'm not going to legitimize an illegitimate gathering. Because to my own point of view, it look like they not follow the court order accordingly. So I'm not going to go there and go rubber stamp waiting and they do. Because they're going to use that as an excuse. So well, the man we serve in Navy. So now make me say me not they go. Okay? But I say if anybody want to go, you can go. So people go out of your seat and they say me no. We say we not and we're not meant. Me say me not they go, anybody want to go free for go. And we say when we go, they will not they make statement. So if somebody there he decide for go tinap or waiting, no, not to me. Okay? Like how they say, and another thing I want to say at me closing, the NRM go there, then go apologize to the people for waiting and do. So if you apologize, say you defect for democratize the party, you defect for bring legality and sanity, then you go apologize. Then now that you've been defect for. We were the feds for this thing, the ARM, and every true reformers out there, we are unapologetic for democratizing the APC. If the opportunity presents itself, we will do it 200 times over. We're not a sit down now any political party. We're like a person, 100%. Take a political party like the APC, it bring them to Mamikos party when I saw Mamikos. Before I make some man know if you sabi talk Creole, once you sabi cost Mamikos, then get 20,000 leons, it go to up, it cost people the money. This is what Anes Koroma do to a party, and by the grace of God, not about our own power, but by the grace of God, the Almighty God, would they clean this party, would they wash it and come out there by the grace of God. So when people they say, who stay go down, they not only down, but God will put them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Conteh. Auntie Kadi Johnson, over to you for you to tell about the entire program. Martina, you want to take your last word for the family tonight.
Yes, I don't get much to say now because Mr. Alfred Conteh and Sheki don't give the closing. So everybody we don't understand. More we will not be understand. So we all the wait now for Monday when they go appear in court. So we go see we will come out of it on Monday. You see, so all I can do is
a quick correction, my sister. it's on Wednesday, not Monday.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, on Wednesday, we all the watch, we all the wait for Yeri now. You see? Well, Mr. Ponce, let's put you on the spot. You will come back like this program. I assure you, you will come early. Go inside the first 1 hour, go down with you, you go back. You get me? We want to put you on the spot. So when I don't come on a course on Wednesday, we don't get the verdict. Obviously, all man go want to talk to you, but we they put in now for talk to you.
Well, I go say tentatively, I go give you a tentative answer because I don't know the time. And because until when NTR can done, when you engage the phone with politicians and lawyers, na boku talk. So tell them they are not in sleep because we get 5 hours time difference. So I go say tentatively, but when do well tonight. But by the grace of God, we will see how we go. I hope for a better day in court because now the judge requests for law go back. So let's clarify. Somebody say, would they go? Are they carry them back in the court? No. The judge say, when I go do this, now order. Court order is different from ruling. So the order say, when I go do this, and when they give you order, if you do it exactly, they bend now. So it's an order. You either obey or you not obey. And I tweet tonight. They follow them half. So we do 95%. No, you get to do the order completely. So now those grounds are not good. But not only bring the party back in the court, the judge say, oh, na done, una come back in the court. So now they go back on the 6th of October, which is Wednesday.
So we will try forget the other side as well. You see, not so just more. We will try forget the other side as well. So go nice. We you did talk the other side is everything and thing and all that. You see, so really as to say, when they come up Friday, Wednesday, then Friday is not a bad time. We can assure you, inside the first hour, we can run down with you. You can go, not get for we say it all. You get me? Yes. So basically, that's it. But thank you very, very much. Sheki, thank you very much. But when did they watch and they go see him? Thank you very much because for the time you did say you don't live that long, but at least you managed to do that long. I've been telling you, I said the public can keep you here for long. You see, and also we can keep you with the public when they phone you and all see, then they can stress. Basically, now that's all I can't say much now because time don't go. We left for now. But Sheki, thank you. They say thank you to you, but you're not in there. Thank you too for where you come. I wish you all the best in your endeavor. You see, so I don't see you will come. This also we don't begin can become. You see, okay. Thank you so much.
Well,
So
thank
me
you,
fumble.
viewers. Thank you very much. All the viewers, thank you very much.
Bye now. So when see you, they can't get close now. See? So let me just say goodbye one thing. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Guys, thank you very much, guys. God bless you now. And everything, listener, and I want to love Conteh go can say because everybody busy and then Conteh here, everybody getting for the give what you not give it, and I believe there's so many things in a way it different from spending the media. We will continue for the reach to and we will count and into all the SAPP because now we're not clear for balance complaints on the call but not clear for balance we APC were in the camp. So again, NGC, C4C, whatever it is, the platform open to all Sierra Leoneans. Now we get a discussion. We get 2 more years for election. You know now by the election, now we begin ask the parties them we will move Salone forward. We all know we country. Salone, thank you for honor we invitation tonight, and thank you to my co-host for the up to 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the UK. This is not love for Conteh, and also with viewers and listeners all around the world. Thank you. God bless you all. You guys. See you next Friday by God in power. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.